WEGL 91.1 FM and WEGL Sports, where every game lives, presents Beauregard men's basketball.
Goodson with a steal. He wants more, and one again.
Fade in. Live from the Beauregard High School Gymnasium on this social media broadcast for another night of Alabama high school basketball between two winning programs. The home team Hornets coming off a blowout victory this past Friday at Beulah by a 38-point margin, getting set to take on a well-rested Brewbaker Tech team who currently sits at 11-5 on the season. Jay Sinclair having a record season, averaging over 23 points per game, looks to propel his team past a balanced defensive-heavy team in the Brewbaker Tech Rams. Levi Fitzwater, Aiden Kowalski on the call for tonight's match between the Rams and the Hornets. Levi, first of all, Happy New Year to you. How you feeling about this new upcoming season?
Oh man, I'm excited to see what the Beauregard Hornets have for us in store in 2020. Undefeated so far.
1-0. There is to note we did finish off the 2019 campaign the first half of the season 6-6. We edged, not only edged, we blew out Beulah by 38 points. And that was just a really nice win to start things off. That was last Friday, back on the 3rd of January. But we're just getting set to go here tonight. First area game, what are you looking forward to here? What do you expect keys to tonight's players to watch out for?
I mean, in terms of players to watch out for, it's the same every week for Beauregard. You have the great guard leadership that they have, Jay Sinclair, Jayon Goodson. You've got Corey Askew, and that's the big thing that's going to happen for those guys is they just need to perform tonight. And Jay Sinclair, he's an automatic bucket. If you leave him just an inch of space, the ball's going in. And I think that's going to be huge, and that's the difference between this year's Beauregard team and last year's when they lost to Brewbaker Tech in the area tournament is they have more experience now. They're just a better overall basketball team.
Starting lineups for the Brewbaker Tech Rams. We're going to start with number 1, Evan Carter, the 6-foot senior. Up next, number 2, Justin Johnson. Not head coach Justin Johnson, but no, we're talking about the 6'2 senior of Brewbaker Tech. Up next, number 3, Albert Lancaster, the 145-pound, 5'5" junior. Next is Q Williams. He's repping number 10, the 5'11 senior. And then rounding out the group, number 32, Mallory Struggs, the 2nd, the 6'4 senior. He's a big boy, 235 pounds, Levi. Both of these teams pretty equal in scoring so far. The Beauregard Hornets, Jay Sinclair, Trent Jones, Jayon Goodson, Zeb Baird, and then Peyton Porterfield getting the start for the Hornets tonight over Corey Askew. So something to note there is both teams are now out on the court with their starting 5. Coach Justin Johnson getting his last few words of encouragement for his Hornet team before the start of the second game of 2020 for the Beauregard team. As for Brewbaker Tech, they've had a well-rested past couple weeks, a nice Christmas break and New Year's for them. I'm sure their last game coming back on the 28th of December. So hey, we'll see if this rest gets to them. They're a high defensive team, but Beauregard, pretty evenly matched. So it's going to be Porterfield and Struggs here to tip things off. 8 minutes on the clock. Beauregard in their white jerseys, Brewbaker Tech in their gray. The Hornets going from right to left. As Porterfield wins the tip, Goodson will control in the backcourt. 7:55 to go in the first. Goodson looking to his right, will pass there to Sinclair. Sinclair dribbling to his left, out to the top of the key there for Goodson. Goodson left to right, tried the crossover, will give it back to Sinclair at the top. Still with possession, setting a play is Goodson. 20 seconds so far into the game, no shots recorded. Goodson looking to his right, he'll find Sinclair again. Porterfield going around, Baird will put up a shot, that one off the mark, rebounded by Justin Johnson. Now coming the other way is Carter. Carter will pass it back out for three by Lancaster. That one rattles off the rim, rebounded there from Trent Jones. Trent Jones working it up at a fast pace, gives it up to Sinclair. Sinclair on the far side in the corner will pass it inward to Jones. Jones spins around, loses the handle on it, and stealing it is Q Williams. Williams up along the near side, out to Carter. Carter at the top of the key. Between his legs will pass it to the right side. And will keep it at the top of the key. 6:57 to go in the first, no score.
Yeah, just pretty defensive so far. I mean, you've seen a lot of mistakes, missed shots.
Corner three from Johnson, off the mark, rebounded by Baird. Baird loses it. Lancaster will get it back, passing it out, driving inward, straight back out. Johnson, again, the second chance, blocked by Porterfield. And that one will belong to Brewbaker Tech. Still no score.
Yeah, he's looking for a foul there, but I think he just lost his footing, and he kind of got really under Porterfield. Just an easy block for him on that one.
Evan Carter will inbound from the baseline for Brewbaker Tech. Swatting it away was Porterfield again. He tried to find Justin Johnson in the paint for an easy two. Beauregard doing some better job defending here early on. Still no score, 6:36. Another passing from the baseline for the Rams. They'll find Lancaster, opted out not to take the three in the corner. Will give it back to Carter at the top of the key, giving it inward now to Struggs. Struggs will put it up, off the mark. He'll get his own rebound in the paint. Stripping him is Baird. He'll get it again, putting it up, off the mark once again there for Jones. Coming the other way is Goodson. Having some room to run, gives it up to Porterfield. The selfless, and he'll put it up in for the first 2 points of the game. Peyton Porterfield got his own rebound. A lot happened. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, that pass by Goodson was interesting to me. I mean, normally he's a guy you see take that one, and it went straight to Porterfield. A little bit of a different strategy here. Like you said, very selfless team that we have.
That was the word. At the top of the key, three ball from Johnson. That one is nothing but net. Rams up by one. It's 3-2 here with 5:47 to play in the first quarter. Goodson at midcourt, going to his left, is going to pull up for three. Almost hitting the ceiling. The teardrop goes off the back iron. Rebounded from Evan Carter. 7 seniors on this Ram team. Oh, quick turnaround three there for Brewbaker Tech. That one off the mark. Rebounded there for Beauregard. Coming the other way is Goodson, up and in. Give them the lead. It's 4-3.
And both these teams want to play fast. It's going to be electric all game long here.
Oh, and wide open down the court for the easy lay-in. Struggs puts it in. Mallory Struggs the second. 6'4", 235 pounds. There's not much to stop him when he gets an open lane down low.
Yeah, that's Brewbaker Tech's biggest strength, is size down low, and it's apparent.
Sinclair pulls up from 17 feet, rebounded there by Baird. Back up once again, up and good. Trent Jones with the rebound and putback. It's 6-5 here with 5:50 to go in the first. Driving inward is Johnson once again. He'll pass it right back out to Williams. Williams will put it up and in for two.
Man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be hard on us, isn't it?
And not only that, but the difference in points per game between these two teams, there is none. 57 points per game. Two defensive-heavy teams, and now stolen. Goodson gets it stolen, going back up and no good. Almost getting it blocked. Jay Sinclair doing a good job of defense. And the no-look pass there going the other way. The 3-on-1. Zeb Baird will put it up and in. Goodson looked to his right to find Porterfield. The defense was fooled, and Zeb Baird just gets the no-look pass and lays it up and in. Beauregard back on top. It's 8-7 here in the first. Blocking him, Q Williams.
It looks like they're going to call that one a jump ball there.
He looked to drive toward the basket from left to right. And Beauregard really doing a good job of defense. It's kind of been a story this season how consistent can we play? And it looks like tonight we're doing a lot better job of it, but leaving him wide open for three. Justin Johnson will drain his second three-pointer of the game. 10-8 is your score. Goodson now on the far side, right in front of the scorers table. As for Levi and I, we're in the corner. Goodson still with it. He'll pass it out to Sinclair. Sinclair at the top of the key, gives it up for Baird. Baird will go up, gets fouled, no good.
There's a really good play right there. Coming off that screen action, you have Zeb Baird driving to the basket. Fortunately didn't finish, but drew a foul.
So far, 2 points on the night for Zeb Baird. Looking to put on another 2 more with these free throws coming up.
I want to say before this broadcast started, we were looking at the crowd, and it looked a bit emptier than normal, but it seems to have filled up a little bit here since the start of the game. Not quite.
It's good to see, though.
It's not as what we expected it, but it's filled up quite nicely here. They've been pretty loud here early on.
Baird makes the first of 2, lining up for the second. Rattling up and in. Tie game again at 10 apiece, 3:44 to go in the first. Working backwards is Evan Carter. Carter at the top of the key. Guarding him is Goodson. Now on the right side, he'll try the crossover. Gets it stripped from Goodson, coming the other way. Porterfield gets it. Now back off the error. Trent Jones just got a pass off of his shoulder. Porterfield tried to find Jones, and he just couldn't handle the pass. Now back out at the top is Carter. Carter pulls up from the free throw line. That one off the mark. Baird with the rebound. Almost getting it taken away. Goodson now coming the other way. Right behind him. A hot pass inward there to Sinclair. Sinclair will put it up off the glass and no good. Rebounded there by Williams, and there's going to be a foul. Peyton Porterfield, the culprit, on the defensive rebound from Brewbaker Tech.
Now, I hear the Beauregard fans booing over there. We had a pretty good sight line on that. It looked like a clean jump. So I do understand their frustrations, but it is part of the game. You have to love Porterfield's tenacity this game. He's been going after it so far.
Getting the start over Corey Askew tonight, as he has in the past couple games. 3 minutes to go in the first, still tied at 10 apiece. Carter driving to his left, trying to get past Porterfield. Porterfield with another block and putting it back up. Anthony Childs in the game here for Brewbaker Tech, getting his first 2 baskets of the game.
And that'll be number 2 right there on Porterfield. A quick second foul, and you'll see Corey Askew come in this game. I'd like to believe that Coach Johnson didn't want to bench Askew, he wanted that extra size down low of having to deal with the sheer height that Brewbaker has.
Porterfield's taking a seat. Corey Askew coming into the game now. As for Childs, looking for the and 1 opportunity. And it's up and good. A 3-point lead here for the Rams early on, 2:50 to go in the first quarter. Still in the backcourt is Baird. He's being double teamed. They progress it now for Askew once again. Top of the key shot off the iron from Baird. No good. Rebounded by Beauregard at the top of the key once again. Driving inward is Goodson. Goodson loses the handle, gets it stripped by Justin Johnson. And coming the other way, almost a backcourt there. Johnson has to be careful. Not sure if the refs missed one, but now in the corner is Davis driving inward, and that's going to be a travel. He looked to pull up for 3, but instead opts to drive to his right, not really counting how many dribbles he had.
Yeah, I mean, just got a little too quick there. A little too quick on that one, and you can see both teams struggle a little bit more in the half-court game than they do that full-court transition.
Sinclair coming the other way, getting it stripped once again. He went up for a shot. Childs doing a better job, the 5'10 junior for Brewbaker Tech, putting in some big minutes. 2 to go here in the first. It's 13-10 in favor of the Rams. Driving to his left is Carter. Will swing it back out for 3. No good there from Johnson. Rebounded by Baird. Coming the other way now is Askew. Askew to Goodson. Motioning from the center circle at midcourt. Near the scorer's table. Will pass it out. Deep 3, airballed from Sinclair. Sinclair thought he got hit. And a great pass inward. Driving is Johnson, and he'll put the easy 2 in. It's 15-10. Approaching a minute to go. Here's Beauregard looking to get some points here. Askew for 3, off the iron. And that's going to be a foul on Brewbaker Tech, I believe.
I think they called Zeb Baird for over the back there.
Never mind. And it looks like there will be a timeout. Levi, you can sum it up.
And, I mean, you look at the way this game's played out so far. I mean, it's been really quick, really fast, and I mean, it's pretty even. I mean,
we've had one foul, we've had one timeout. Outside of that, there's only 1:19 left in the first quarter, and it seems like the clock's been running this entire time.
And we've seen slogs of games where we come out here and it's just foul on foul on foul, and that's really something that Beauregard has been wanting to eliminate. They've been getting into foul trouble a lot here this season, so it's good to see that. They might be trailing by 5, but the way they've been playing, that's not a horrible lead. It's a very close, manageable lead and no foul trouble. So,
and not only that, that's something that Coach Justin Johnson worked on since the first couple games of the season. I remember a combined 24 fouls or something like that from when I believe it was Opelika who came to town in our first win of the season, and it was just something that, kind of a bit uncharacteristic, first game getting things filled out. And now it's just a whole different team we're seeing out here on the court. And as that should be expected with a new head coach and trying to get things straight with a team he's unfamiliar with. But now that's not the case. 1:08 to go. That one in Brewbaker's hands, but now stolen. Askew coming the other way. Hot pass inward at the shoestrings of Sinclair. There's Goodson driving, and a great pass inward now underneath. Corey Askew will put it up and in for 2 off the glass. Here is Carter. Hot pass to Webb. And that's going to be going the other way.
It was a good timeout by Coach Johnson. I mean, they came out ready to play after that timeout.
15-12 is your score in favor of Brewbaker Tech, currently sporting an 11-5 record on the season. As for Beauregard, just a half game above 500. They're 7-6. Still in the backcourt, and off the knee was the pass there from Goodson. Justin Johnson playing good defense here tonight.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good coaching and playing defense. We have a player for Brewbaker with the same name as Beauregard's head coach.
Don't be confused. Don't be confused. 35 seconds, and inbounding near the scores table will be Beauregard.
I guarantee if you gave Coach Johnson a chance, he'd go out there and play right now. You can.
2009 graduate from Opelika. He's seen a lot of Alabama high school basketball in his day, and now first-year head coach of the Hornets. Goodson looking to step back still, now working at the top of the key. He'll find Baird. Baird working inward, trying to get past. I believe that was Mike Davis Jr., and that's going to be an offensive foul. Baird in disbelief. He was punching and slamming that padding right beyond the backboard.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely not happy about that one. And, I mean, it's very, very close. I mean, but...
I mean, it's just a question of whether Davis had his feet set.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really close on that one. So I hope Baird turns that energy he has into a good thing and doesn't make a boneheaded mistake down there. Let the emotions get to you a little bit too much.
So the ball's going to go out of play on the near side in favor of Brewbaker Tech. Here with 6 seconds, it's the Rams who are going to have the last shot of the first quarter. They currently lead it by 3. It's 15-12. Inbound by Carter. He'll get it back. Deep 3, way off the mark. No rebound, and that's going to be the end of the first. It's 15-12. Not as high scoring as we would have thought, but these two defensive-heavy teams only just really 3 fouls, if I can count them off the top of my head.
Yeah, they want to play fast. They want to get out in transition, and that's how both of these teams play, so they're really good at defending that full transition game. So you've seen it a lot. They've really kind of nullified the offense, and I think this game's really going to come down to who makes more mistakes. I think that's going to be the team, because right now it seems like they're pretty even, and I don't really see a separation except for if Jason Clare gets going for Beauregard. I think it's
about
over.
to say the man is averaging 24 points per game, and it's just a matter of when he gets started. He's had a couple of 30-plus points per game in the past 5. Beauregard's 3-2 in those past 5. As for Brewbaker Tech, they're coming off a little bit of a hot string here. They're 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, if you're down by 3 at the end of the first quarter and your leading scorer hasn't gotten a basket yet, usually you're pretty good. That's not terrible.
And it's really not. I mean, you look at some NBA teams and they just have their leading scorers, but now when you're able to share the basketball and kind of share the wealth a bit, it actually can benefit your teams in more ways than one. And in this case, I think the player that I'm really looking at is Zeb Baird. He's put in some big minutes defensively and then getting those boards, receiving the passes. Goodson really feeling his role for the season. He's not the leading scorer as he was last season. He's really doing a better job of leading the team as a senior. as he actually just coughs that one up out of bounds, trying to find Jay Sinclair. Excuse me, right as I said that. Sorry, John.
Yeah, the old announcer jinx. I mean, it just seemed like him and Jay Sinclair had a little bit of miscommunication on that play.
So it'll be Brewbaker coming the other way. Carter Evans will pull up from the corner just inside the three-point line. Rebounded by Lancaster. He'll get his own rebound. Once again, going up and getting fouled was Webb. A swarm of Hornets just there in the paint. And I guess one got his shoulder. So it'll be Webb to the free throw line to shoot two. 15-12 with 7:34 to go before halftime.
And you see Beauregard, they're down in that zone defense, and they're trying to dare Brewbaker to beat them with a three, not let them beat them down low. But the only problem with that zone is when it comes to rebounding, typically if you have a man, you're running a man offense or a man defense, you know who you're supposed to box out. That's the problem with the zone. You don't have that one man that you want to box out. So that's what leads to these multiple offensive rebounds that Brewbaker Tech's been able to get throughout this game.
And not only that, we've seen some open threes from the Rams as well. You see some guys left wide open. And fortunately, they're not making their shots, but I feel like that's just a question of yet.
And that's one of those things that's the weakness of the zone. You really want to dare them to beat you from there, and I don't think Coach Johnson thinks Brewbaker Tech can do that.
Brewbaker Tech, who tried to inbound it, that was 5 seconds too many. It's going the other way, and Beauregard, example, case in point number one. They're playing a lot better defensive game here tonight.
Yeah, it's just been a really good defensive game. I mean, full court press the whole time for Brewbaker. Beauregard's going to do it if they score right here.
And Beauregard's got to get over midcourt, as they do there with Askew, who almost gets it stripped, spinning around Davis with the defense. And what's that going to be called? I didn't quite see it.
It looks like, I would think, a foul on Brewbaker.
I mean, they were playing hard full court, that was for sure. Yeah, so it's going to be an inbound from the scores table, Jay Sinclair. 3 down low for Brewbaker, and a pass into the backcourt. Goodson coming up with it, getting past his man, giving it up to Askew, who loses the handle for a second, gets it right back out to Goodson at the top of the key here with 6:05 to go. Out is Askew driving to his left, inward there to Baird. Baird once again puts it up and in.
Such a beautiful pass right there from Corey Askew. No look, one-handed, that was beautiful.
And who's on the receiving end of these? It's Seb Baird, it seems like, every time.
He's just finding the openings back there in that man offense, making really good cuts and getting open.
In the corners, Childs, and he'll get it stolen from Askew. Coming the other way, will lay it up and in. Beauregard has a lead in taunting.
And he stared him down.
Albert Lancaster. Oh, man, he's almost pulling a Goodson. So now coming the other way, the Rams looking to get a spark on offense, but the momentum in Beauregard's favor. Stolen once again and going out of bounds. Who will it be out on? And it looks like Beauregard will have the ball. That was Jalen Webb, I believe, who stepped out. 6:23 to go before halftime. Geez, that scoreboard's tough to read. I thought it said 6 before. I guess not. Well, we're moving to a new gym next year.
It's a doozy.
Beauregard has 3 of their 9 games remaining, including tonight at home. So it just kind of goes to show they're looking forward to their gym next year, I'm sure. A travel-heavy schedule. That pass will stay in the hands of Beauregard. Q Williams tipping it out. And passing it is Porterfield, or excuse me, that was Jay Sinclair. Into the backcourt is Goodson working his way up to his left at the top of the key. He'll give it back out to Sinclair. Sinclair, the teardrop from about 6 feet out, will get it stripped. And that's going to be a jump ball going the other way in favor of Brewbaker Tech.
Looked like a foul there to me, but you got to trust the ref.
Got to trust the ref. Well, yeah, sometimes. 5:57 to go. The Rams now back with it beyond the arc, passing it inward to Struggs. Struggs, the big boy down low, will now give it up at the top of the key for Lancaster, who drives inward, will put it up and in. And another lead change, a combined 7 lead changes for tonight. Coming the other way, driving the other way, the and one, Jay Sinclair. Give him 2 and possibly 1 more.
Jump shot's not falling. You're not getting it. You got to drive to the basket, and that was just a good, hard drive right there by Jay Sinclair. And the finish, he had 3 guys on top of him. Just a great finish right there.
And like we said, Jay Sinclair, it's just a matter of when he gets hot. The team's leading scorer, averaging 24 points per game. looking to get another one here tonight.
And I'm surprised on the offensive end for Brewbaker Tech. They didn't go to Struggs as much as you'd expect. I mean, he looks like just a mismatch on every single player guarding him.
If you get him down low, I mean, heck, he's taller than just about most Beauregard Hornets on the court here right now.
Yeah,
so now coming the other way is Carter, and he'll get that blocked again. Sinclair the other way after making the free throw. Here for Goodson, the no-look pass once again, up for Sinclair for another 2. Give him 20, and that's going to be a timeout called by Brewbaker Tech. The Hornets lead it by 3 with 5:17 to go.
Yeah, you can feel the entire momentum has shifted to Beauregard. The fans are getting into it. They're getting the running layups that they like. Sinclair hit the last 2 baskets. I mean, and the defensive effort down there. I mean, he gets a good shot block and leads to good offense for him.
And it kind of seems like Sinclair wasn't even picked once to pull up for any sort of shot in the first quarter. It seemed like Zeb Baird was doing most of that. And now here in the second before halftime, they're starting to feed their man.
Yeah, Beauregard's been doing a really good job of getting open off of cuts. Brewbaker's been running that man defense, and Beauregard just done a really good job of getting open, cuts to the basket, and just making their layups. I mean, it's a simple approach, but it's been effective.
So now we're going to have Evan Carter at the top of the key here for the Rams. We'll pass it inward there to Lancaster. Lancaster finds Williams. Williams back out. 3 taken by Carter. Off back iron. Rebounded by Baird. And a foul called on Lancaster. Zeb Baird, who looked like to have full possession of it. You can hear the crowd. They're going to be on top of those calls.
Man, the crowd is, again, it's not completely packed house, but they are loud, and they make themselves heard.
Jayon Goodson now at the top of the key. Will pass it there for Sinclair. Now to Askew. Askew getting it poked away out of bounds. The ball will remain in favor of the Hornets.
Again, Beauregard gets a little bit stagnant in that half-court offense, so they got to get a little bit of something here. Guys got to start moving.
Pass in the backcourt to Goodson. Goodson will work his way back up. And it looks like a foul off the ball. That was Aquazi Bell.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I'm guessing he pushed off or something.
It was between Bell and Askew on the far side near the scorer's table from what we can see. I didn't quite get my eye on exactly what happened, but that's going to be another foul against the Rams and a pass from the baseline for Jayon Goodson.
And it looked like that's been happening all game with Askew's reaction. He just had that kind of look of finally you called it. Like, I know that one feels good. That one feels good to finally get that one called your way. And Goodson's just having a good time over there, waiting for the ball, just dancing, just enjoying himself on the baseline.
He's just dancing right now. I love it. Just waiting for the rest to get things straightened out, but man, that young man sure enjoys himself on the basketball court.
You can't find a player who just enjoys himself more, just has a better time than Jayon Goodson. I mean, he just enjoys playing basketball. As simple as that.
Scratch that, it'll be a pass right in front of the Brewbaker Tech bench. So it'll be Corey Askew at the top of the key, driving to his left and fouling him. There is Aquazi Bell once again for his second in the past 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you need whenever you're trying to make a comeback.
And this game is taking a halt.
It went very fast first quarter, no fouls, and now all the fouls.
Have we determined what the Y on the scoreboard means in terms of time?
I think it's 3. It doesn't look like it, but if I remember correctly, I think that one was a 3.
All right, so 3:30 to go before halftime. Beauregard leading it by 3. 20-17 is your score. At the top is Sinclair, who's gotten hot as of late. We'll give it to Goodson. We'll give it right back there to Askew. At the top once again, driving inward, looking to pass it out to Sinclair, who had been wide open for 3 if he could have pulled the pass off, but it's going to go out of bounds going the other way. That's probably a foul. You can hear the Brewbaker Tech sideline going wild. And that's going to be up and in. Coming the other way, Albert Lancaster. For another 2 points, it's a 1-point game. Goodson coming the other way. He'll go up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Williams. Williams on the far side in front of the scorer's table, going left to right, down through the hole, the reversed, well off the mark, and fouling Jabril Long. There was Trent Jones. He went for the blocked layup, but could not get his hand on the ball. So 2 free throws coming here from Jabril Long.
And just like that, it felt like it was going all Beauregard's way, and now Brewbaker Tech with a chance to take the lead here.
First free throw up and in. We're all tied up at 20 apiece. Checking into the game is Tyler Gordon. And going out, Zeb Baird.
Much deserved rest.
Getting his first rest of the game.
He's been out there he's been everywhere. Defense, offense. He hasn't stopped moving most of this game.
But so is Zion Goodson as the second free throw is up and good. We haven't seen a missed free throw here tonight. 21-20 is your score in favor of the Rams. Here, Beauregard now coming the other way. Going to his left is Sinclair. Sinclair driving inward. The step back, up and good.
He loves that fadeaway shot. If he can get in there, get separation,
And a block there on the pass. Corey Askew coming the other way. He'll lay it up and in for another 2 points for Beauregard. 24-21. 3:25 to go. So that, I guess, the Y is the 4, if we can make a note of that on the scoreboard. So now it'll be Carter in the corner, almost flopping what looked like Askew with good defense. At the top of the key is Lancaster. Challenging him is Goodson. Giving it right back to Carter. Now to Johnson. Inward there to Williams. And a foul before the shot. And that's actually going to be on Brewbaker Tech.
Yeah, I guess he kind of hooked him a little bit when he posted up. We don't have the greatest vantage point down here on this end of the court.
But it's good enough.
Nonetheless, Beauregard basketball.
Oh, jeez. Under 3 minutes to play, 24-21. And Goodson getting it stolen. Johnson going the other way, and he's going to get fouled. Goodson wanted to make sure he didn't get a shot. Oh, excuse me. That's an offensive foul.
And I think there's a lot of people in this gym in disbelief.
That was a breakaway opportunity. Justin Johnson stripped Zion Goodson at midcourt, coming the other way, looking to lay it up. And somehow he got called for the foul. It looked like Goodson was all over him.
He had to have pushed off with one of the hands that we couldn't quite see from this vantage point, because to me it looked like an easy foul on Zion Goodson right there. So,
well, new life here for Goodson. 2:46 to go. The Hornets up by 3. He'll pass it to Sinclair. Sinclair near the top of the key, trying to work inward, and that's going to be a foul off the ball. A lot more fouls here. Man, what has happened?
Yeah, I think they
seems in this past 5 minutes.
Again, we couldn't quite see it. I think they called a moving screen on Beauregard on that one. So, again, no fouls in the first quarter.
Turnover is becoming an issue.
Yeah, very limited fouls, and now it's a foul every other play.
So Mike Davis Jr. into the game at the top of the key here for Brewbaker Tech. Passing it to Lancaster, who will drive inward, gets his own rebound, going up again, and he'll get it to go. 1 point game. Goodson coming the other way with steam. Through the paint, and that's going to be a foul before the shot as he tried to pass it to Tyler Gordon. It looked like that would have been an easy 2, but Brewbaker Tech committing another foul. So it'll be Goodson going to the line for the 1 of 1. The Rams are in bonus.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just a great drive by Zion Goodson. And that's one of the best things that Beauregard does. The second the other team makes a basket, they're on their way. You have to get back and get back quick.
Goodson, the 1 of 1 on the way. He missed it. That one being kept alive, but Trent Jones passing it to the wrong person. He really had not much of a look, as Davis will rebound and inbound there for Brewbaker Tech. He'll take the shot. That one off the mark. Stolen there from Beauregard. Coming the other way is Sinclair. Sinclair with steam. And stepping out of bounds was Mike Davis Jr. He had it stolen, but his right foot just went a little too far beyond that white line into the blue.
Yeah, you can tell he's upset with himself on that one. That was a good, clean steal, just to have it taken away like that.
Beauregard getting away with quite a few things they're doing not quite right. I don't want to say wrong, just because, I mean, this is just a well-played match by Beauregard, both on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball here for the home team.
It seems like every good roll is going Beauregard's way.
Askew up and off. He gets fouled, so he'll be shooting 2.
Yeah, it just seems that every foul, every questionable foul is going Beauregard's way. Every time the ball bounces a certain way, it's going their way as well. So let's see if that trend continues in the next half. And If not, Brewbaker Tech would have a great chance to get back in it.
Askew misses the first of two. 24-23 is your score. Peyton Porterfield, we haven't seen his face in a little while. Coming into the game, out goes Trent Jones. In the backcourt is Sinclair and Goodson. The second free throw on the way, no good. So Brewbaker Tech with a chance to take the lead. We'll pass it back out. Three ball coming. There from Lancaster, no good. Coming the other way is Beauregard once again. Full head of steam, up and in. Jay Sinclair once again. Two more on the board. It's a 3-point lead for the Hornets.
Lancaster was on. He was hustling down there to try to get that block back, but, I mean, Jay Sinclair, he's hard to stop.
Davis passing it inward to Webb. Webb with it. With the contact, no foul called. That one off the mark. He gets his own rebound, and stepping out of bounds with the ball is Tyler Gordon. So a battle in the paint those past couple possessions for Brewbaker Tech. They can't really get them to fall. A pass from the baseline. Out, three ball coming from Long. He gets it.
And that's what they have to do. Beauregard's giving them that shot. They have to make them and capitalize.
Tie game with a minute to go, 26 all. At the top of the key is Askew. You can hear the crowd really getting into it now. And that's going to be a foul on Jabril Long.
Yeah, the Brewbaker Tech fans here are getting into it as well. And now Beauregard trying to answer with their own fans.
I love this battle between fan bases on opposite ends of the court. It's kind of fun, you know?
That's one of the great things about high school basketball is it's so small and enclosed that you really have this. It feels personal between the fans going back and forth with each other.
So free throws coming. Corey Askew will make the first of two. Previously missing his pass to, now getting a chance to redeem himself. Beauregard up by one. And that'll stay that way. He misses the second of two. Williams coming the other way on the near side. Will go to his right. Looking to find someone on the inside. That's Webb. Will pass it right back out to Williams. Williams now at the top of the key is Davis. Davis holding the ball above his head with 32 seconds to go. Looking to the sidelines for something to do. He'll go to his right between the legs. Challenging him is Askew. Going inward, cutting inside, up and off the glass. He'll get fouled. He had no chance on that shot, but it'll be Jion Goodson with the foul and Brewbaker Tech shooting two.
Yeah, not a great foul right there. I mean, like you said, there wasn't much of a chance of him making that shot, so just a really bad foul.
Davis, who kind of just seemed out of control on his last possession, is now going to get to go to the charity stripe for two and potentially put the Rams up one after making the first. It's tied up at 27 apiece. 22 seconds before halftime. We've played 15 minutes and 38 seconds of basketball here at the Beauregard High School Gymnasium. And the referee explaining one of the last possessions to head coach of the Brewbaker Tech Rams, LaKendrick Larkin. Justin Johnson just looking on. He seems in control of what's going on. He seems to know what's happening. And we're talking about Coach Justin Johnson.
Yes, not player Justin Johnson for Brewbaker Tech. Coach Justin Johnson for Beauregard.
So this explanation taking a little longer than a lot of players and fans would like. You can hear the displeasure.
Yeah, Brewbaker fans not happy with that.
And that's the coach of the ladies varsity team for Brewbaker Tech. Hey, no, I respect that, though. Let's get this game going. Second free throw off the mark. Rebounded there from Brewbaker Tech. Now again, 19 seconds to go. It looks like they could potentially have the last shot here if they're smart about it. Here with Jabril Long. We'll pass it back out. And getting it stolen there is Beauregard. Coming the other way, stolen right back. Davis, once again, it looks like Sinclair had something going. 5 seconds. And Goodson will get fouled, it seems. The reach around from Mike Davis Jr. So Beauregard's going to have the last shot. We're tied up right before halftime at 27. It's Sinclair from midcourt with 1 second. Too late. And that one routed off the front of the iron regardless. Not a great last possession, but hey, we're tied up. New game, 27 apiece. 16 minutes to go to determine if Beauregard can stay perfect here in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, just a great, hard-fought game by both teams. I mean, 27-20, you can't really ask for much more of that. it hasn't been perfect. There have been sloppy plays from both teams, but I think the thing that impressed me the most was Corey Askew. I mean, he's always that guy who just seems that he's a bounce away or just a roll away. And he was out there making a lot of plays today, and I like to see him get that going.
And not only that, I mean, we saw glimpses of it. We saw a 5-minute stretch there in the second where he had scored back-to-back points, and it looks like, hey, this could be his spark tonight. I mean, hey, he's come off of 30-point games in the past 5, and it's just a matter of whether he can get started or not, but that's going to do it for the first half of play. Alabama High School basketball here at the Beauregard High School Gymnasium. We're going to be back with second half coverage after these short messages here on this live stream broadcast on Weagle.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green.
Make it green. Green, green. Make it green. It's your home, it's your dream. It's your dream.
Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel? Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Harrison Smith. You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on Weagle 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hotspot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, Weagle FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with Weagle Sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WeaglFM.com and Weagle 91.1 FM, Auburn.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzzed driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely. Officer. A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says I'm a catch more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And we are back here at the Beauregard High School Gymnasium. Aiden Kowalski, Levi Fitzwater on the call for the second half of coverage between the Beauregard Hornets, who are at home tonight for the second time of the new year, going up against the Brewbaker Tech Rams. Levi, defense seems to be the story of tonight's game. What do you want to see in this second half of play?
I mean, honestly, if I'm the coach of either team, I'm not really looking to make too many changes. I mean, 27-27. We were talking about it before we came back. Both teams are on schedule, or pretty much on pace to score their average, about 57. So I think you just stick to your game plan. Me personally, I want to see a lot more of those baskets drop because, I mean, they're getting a lot of good looks in that up-tempo pace that both teams play. So I personally want to see a couple more baskets.
And it seems like Brewbaker Tech, who has shot majority of the three-point baskets so far, if they can get those to drop, I feel like they might come victorious out of tonight's game. But Beauregard, man, their defense is just something else. So on the court, it looks like Goodson, along with Jay Sinclair, Peyton Porterfield, Zeb Baird, and Trent Jones. So it'll be Baird to Porterfield, looking to pull up for three. Instead, it'll be Baird, and he'll get the first basket. It's beyond the three-point line. And that's a three-point lead here for Beauregard. It's a whole new ball game, 30-27. 7:38 to go. Here with 16 minutes left in regulation. Porterfield, who will get blocks Struggs. And Goodson coming the other way. And he'll get called for the foul. Q Williams tying him up.
That one looked like it hurt from Jayon Goodson. I mean, he hit the ground, but he bounces back up just so effortlessly.
He really does, I'll tell you. Just the way he gets up, too, it just kind of goes to show, yeah, you can do that again. That's no problem for me.
Yeah, he just rolled. He just kind of like rolled, and next thing you know, he's on his feet again.
He's like rubber. It's something else. But, I mean, that's what an athlete should be. So Goodson missing the first free throw, high-fiving his invisible teammates in the backcourt. He does this every time. It's just funny.
It's always nice to see.
So Goodson now, the second one, up and in. The 4-point lead here for the Hornets coming the other way. Evan Carter gets it stolen. Goodson once again now beyond half court. And will pass it upward for Sinclair. Sinclair off the mark on the easy lane, what looked like. Lancaster the other way will go up and in. No foul called. Zeb Baird going down. He looked like he wanted the call there for the offensive foul. Does not get it.
Yeah, I think Zeb Baird set a perfect charge there. I'm sure he's frustrated because he had one
his
call.
Had his feet set.
He had one called against him earlier in the half, so I'm sure he's not very happy.
Goodson driving to the left into the corner, loses it. Taken up by Jones. Jones gives it back to Gordon. That was Goodson. And he'll lay it up and in for another two baskets. 33-29 is your score. 6:43 to play in the third. Deep three coming for Carter. That one rattling off the rim. Rebounded by Jones. He'll give it to Sinclair. Sinclair will do the same the other way. That one off the front of the iron. He'll get a second chance off the opportunity given to him from Trent Jones. He'll go up off the mark. Now for Brewbaker Tech coming the other way. Runs into his own teammate. There was Evan Carter. No good. Sinclair with the easy lay-in, but no, he misses it, and he's going down, holding his hamstring. He looks to be hurt.
Yeah, it looked like he got undercut right there by one of the Brewbaker players, and again, it looked like a foul, but I mean, you just hate to see any player go down, but especially one as talented as Jason Clare.
And he went down what looked to be grabbing his hamstring / knee area on the left side.
I'm hoping it's nothing more than just maybe some knees clacking together, maybe just hitting it hard. So
he's back on his feet under his own power, but sure tending that, it looks like left leg. So he'll be headed to the locker room. There was that 5-on-4 action coming the other way. It was Brewbaker Tech and Mallory Struggs the second. That 6'4 senior we were talking about before, he gets the basket in transition. So the score is 33-31. So it'll be Porterfield back into the game now for Goodson to take it. Two men behind him. They got to get it past midcourt. They do. With it is Askew. Askew gives it up to Baird. Baird 2 for 2 from three-pointers in the second half.
Oh, and he is excited. He is on fire right now. You can see it.
5-point game. Feed the hot hand, says Zeb Baird. Now ball swinging into the corner. Williams will drive inward. Nothing there. He'll give it back out to Lancaster. Lancaster in front of the scorers table will pass it across the court to Johnson. Johnson now in the corner for Carter. Carter the step back. Nothing going there. Stolen. Askew the other way. We'll lay it up and home. And that's going to be Beauregard's biggest lead of the game. 38-31 is your score. 5:15 to go in the third. Here for Johnson at the top of the key. He'll pull up from deep, and he'll drain it.
That was a good-looking shot. That was deep.
And that is a great response if you're Brewbaker Tech. Nothing much going your way. A couple of strips. And now Beauregard. That was a great pass. Goodson to Jones, and he'll get blocked by Williams, but not without a foul being called.
That one looked like a pretty clean block.
Q Williams, it looked like had all ball there.
That looked like a good one, and the Brewbaker fans here were definitely disappointed.
I respect referees, but I question some of their decisions tonight.
And Coach Johnson is down the hallway right now, watching Jay Sinclair run up and down the hallway. I'm guessing to see if he's good enough to go back in.
That's good to see.
It's good to see
It
him
could have been
up.
much worse from what we saw here.
Yeah, it looked like he was in just an incredible amount of pain.
And he's back, and it looks like, not really tending to that left leg anymore. It seems like he's walking back under his own power 50-50 on both sides. And the second missed free throw there from Jones. So 39 points. Pulling up for three is Evan Carter, excuse me. He'll get that one to fall in the corner. 39-37 is your score. Goodson, the crossover, will pass it back out for Askew. The deep three, off back iron. The rebound by Davis. Coming up is Carter once again at the top of the key. Will drive inward, and he'll get fouled. That one going off the backboard, but nothing much more from there. He'll be going to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, that was a pretty deep three from Corey Askew on the other end. He was
it
almost
seems
on the
like
bench.
They're trying to match each other. When someone takes a three from, let's say, 5 feet beyond the arc, it looks like the other team's going to go and try to do the same and maybe even one-up them.
And that's what happens when you have two teams that are relatively even playing it out like this. I mean, they just feel they have to answer. They want to answer the same way.
And that was so interesting to me when we looked at both score sheets. 57 points per game from both sides. It looks like what's going on here?
And something's happened with one of the Brewbaker players. He might be bleeding just a little bit, having to clean it up, maybe a little bit on his jersey or something.
Yeah, because it was.
And you see stoppage play here, trying to figure out what exactly was called.
Coach LaKendrick Larkin, what confused me to begin with, he was going across the court, going to get some bag. I couldn't quite hear exactly what was being said, but yeah, it looks like there was a player who needs some medical attention. Nothing serious, of course, but.
Yeah, it might have just been a ripped jersey, some blood, just something that they have to clean up.
But now this is a free timeout for Beauregard. Time to reset. 39-37 is the score.
Yeah, it's not a great spot for Brewbaker because they had a lot of the momentum kind of shifting back their way. So to have this stoppage right here.
And now with 3:26 to go before the fourth quarter.
And yeah, it looks like there's a little wrap right there on the right wrist.
And free throws coming here for Evan Carter. And yeah, he must have gotten scratched going up. It seemed like he went down hard on that wrist as well. And he makes the first one. That bounced everywhere all over that rim and finally fell home. It's a 1-point game. So looking to tie it up here is Carter with a second free throw. And he's talking to his players there. Doesn't phase him. He'll make the second. Tie game. Zeb Baird will inbound it. And a great pass right back. Now for Askew, going the other way from right to left. He'll give up the free throw for Peyton Porterfield. Not sure if I agree with that decision. It's going to be a jump ball, so Brewbaker Tech will have it. But just Corey Askew, it looks like he had the open lane to lay it up. He gives it right back to Porterfield to do the same thing, but Porterfield didn't have the open look.
Yeah, Corey Askew favors that left hand as a left-handed dominant player, so he had a right-handed basket attempt and just did not want to take it.
Struggs is going to go up. No good. Blocked once again. The second chance there from Jabril Long. And fouling him there, I believe, was Jay Sinclair on this inside.
And despite the size advantage, Beauregard's done a really good job on Struggs because they've been trying to get him the ball the second half. We didn't see it in the first half as often, and they've really limited him.
And that's Brewbaker Tech's first lead in quite some time. They now have the 1-point advantage, 40-39, with the second free throw coming from Jabril Long. On its way and good. And an errant inward pass. It looks like it's going to be a kick ball. Pleading his case is Justin Johnson, the player on the court for Brewbaker Tech, saying that went off his hand. I thought it went off his foot because there's no way it can go at that weird of an angle off somewhere else.
Yeah, just the sound sounded like it went off his foot too. So referees came together, made the decision, and going to be kick ball.
So Beauregard gets a break as Baird to pass it in. Not sure if I totally like that decision on his part. He had a little bit of time, so now let's reset here. The Hornets down by 2. At the top of the key is Askew driving to his left. He'll get it stripped from Struggs. And Struggs actually called for the foul, and they're going to say it was on the shot.
And that's what happened. Good things happen when you drive to the basket and put it up. You saw last possession. You said you didn't like it. He passed it to Porterfield this time. Drives it up, gets 2 free throws.
So it'll be Corey Askew going to the line to tie things up here if he can make both of them. As he makes the first, 41-40 in favor of the Rams. Remember the first half, how quick that was, and it seemed like there were only, a total of under 10 fouls, it seemed like, and now this second half. Oh, and they're rebounded from Baird. Baird will put it up a second time, no good. And he'll get a third rebound. From the paint, he'll kick it back out. The better decision, St. Clair now driving. He'll put it up and off the mark. 4 misses, rebounded by Porterfield. And finally getting his hand on it was Mallory Struggs. And that's going to be a foul on Brewbaker Tech.
Yeah, it looked like Porterfield kind of got turned around trying to get the ball, and I'm not quite sure how they derived a foul.
Beauregard had 5 opportunities to score off of the missed free throw. And they're still down by 1. St. Clair will have it. Now back to Askew, who's at the top of the key. The pass was inbounded by Jion Goodson. Now for Askew, going to his left, will pass it back out to Goodson for 3. He got it! 3-point basket for Jion Goodson. The Hornets are up by 2. It's 43-41 with just over 3 to go in the third. Now Justin Johnson back out to Carter, who matches Goodson with another 3. The 1-point lead there for the Rams. Baird now coming the other way. The Euro step up and in. Oh, Zeb Baird, have yourself a third quarter.
It's not as pretty as John Goodson, but it's effective.
Evan Carter now being trapped in the corner. Gives it up for Davis, who's coming underneath. Pulls a Steve Nash, goes around the rim. And that's going to be called no basket. He passed it to Justin Johnson, the player on the court for Brewbaker Tech. And that's going to be a foul on the Rams.
I think they might have called 3 seconds. 3 seconds in the paint right there on Brewbaker.
Well, nevertheless, it's Beauregard's basketball. They're up by 1, 45-44 off of Zeb Baird's Euro. And now coming the other way is Corey Askew. Will give it up to Porterfield. Porterfield takes a short jumper just beyond the paint, no good. Near the corner, now coming the other way. There on the other side, trying to lay it up and in is Johnson. No good. Second chance opportunity. Davis will get it home. The Rams have a 1-point lead. And stripping it out of the hands, but out of bounds. Give that ball to Beauregard. But a great effort from Evan Carter on the defensive side of the ball. It seems like the momentum is now on Brewbaker Tech's side.
And now you see the referee talking to Jion Goodson. I mean, I guess they didn't really like the talking there that was going on between him and Mike Davis.
And this is no surprise. Goodson always picks out a man, and it's really who's going to crack first, and usually Goodson doesn't crack. He's the one to kind of give that information, really just try to get a response out of the opposing team.
Just a competitive edge, get under the skin a little bit.
Askew trying to go up and in, looking for the foul, no call. The ref's letting him play. Now Brewbaker Tech coming the other way, and Justin Johnson kicks it back out for Carter Evan in the corner. And now for Jalen Webb. 3 no good off the back iron. Jump ball. Give that ball to Beauregard. In the middle of that pile, it's Zeb Baird once again.
He is just fired up. You can see it. He's feeling it today. Get him the ball. Get him the ball right now.
Fighting Jabril Long for that last possession.
I want to see a Zeb Baird 3 on this possession. He's feeling it. He's excited. He's pumped up. Give it to him.
Oh, look at that pass right under the legs. There now, Baird, what do you say? Beyond the three-point arc, Levi, you called it. 3-point basket for Zeb Baird. Oh, baby.
Feed the hot hand.
And gets it picked off. Porterfield now coming the other way. And he'll cough that one up, trying to find Corey Askew on the far side. Man, momentum in favor of Beauregard right now, and Zeb Baird, the man behind it.
Man, I mean, that pass was just a bit out of the reach for Corey Askew, too. It could have been even bigger.
48-46. Put Beauregard up by 2 off the 3 from Baird. Driving to his left is Davis, going up. Off the back iron, no good. Rebounded there from Webb. Will go up again. And there's going to be, I'm not sure if it was.
I think he stopped the play.
No foul, no out of bounds call. It was Tyler Gordon with the rebound. The referee spotted some water. He blew the play dead, and now is letting Beauregard inbound it from the baseline. Now for Zeb Baird. He'll give it up for Sinclair. Sinclair having some room to run. He gets it stripped from Johnson. Johnson now coming the other way with numbers. The Euro step. Gets the bump, but no good on the basket. So he'll be going to the line to shoot two. 48-46. He can tie up the game with these 2 free throws.
And you hear the Boo Birds out over here. Brewbaker Tech did not like that call for him to stop it because they had 2 players around him, trapped him, then they get a free inbound out of it. So,
and the referee's still looking right in the paint under Brewbaker Tech's basket. They see something. They haven't brought a towel out. They're just kind of wiping it with their shoe. I'm not totally sure. Maybe that was the blood of Mike Davis, remember, 5 minutes ago, or so. I don't know what you could call it. First free throw up and good for Justin Johnson.
Man, how about this game, though? It's been incredible, just back and forth. Every time you think you have it figured out, the other team just steals all the momentum from somebody. So it's just crazy.
Corey Askew into the game for Jay Sinclair's second free throw from Justin Johnson, up and good. We're tied up at 48. 59 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Goodson on the far side in front of the scorer's table. Working with him is Bright. Now coming the other way, Porterfield. It looks like there's a foul before the shot. Porterfield gets fouled by Jalen Webb. So there's going to be a pass from the baseline here for Zion Goodson. Goodson finds Gordon. Gordon driving inward. Off the glass, up and good.
That was really good strength right there from Gordon.
40 seconds. Beauregard up by 2. Brewbaker Tech with possession. Evan Carter coming the other way. He'll give it up. They're trying to lay it home as Johnson. Off the mark. Rebounded by Webb. He'll get that strip there from Goodson. Goodson going all the way up the stands, trying to keep the ball in play. Into the section of the Brewbaker Tech faithfuls.
I mean, it seemed effortless. It just seemed like he just floated up there.
So it looks like Zeb Baird will pass it in right in front of the student section of Brewbaker Tech here for Zion Goodson to set up potentially one final play with 20 seconds to go. He'll motion to his right, working his way in the corner. Now out to Baird. Baird still with the hot hand. We'll pass it now back outside to Askew. Askew driving to his right in the corner, still with possession. Gives it to Gordon. Gordon back out to the top of the key for Goodson with 2 seconds. He'll pull up. And off the mark, it looked good from our perspective, just a little bit long off the back iron. Zion Goodson with the long shot, and Coach Justin Johnson a little upset. He wanted him to drive to the basket. It seemed like a lot of Beauregard players beyond the three-point arc wanting to take the last shot, but the score will remain 50-48 in favor of the Beauregard Hornets. That'll do it for the third quarter of play. Heading into the fourth, this has been one close game. It seems like the biggest lead by one team was Beauregard at 7 points at one point, and just seems like both teams can close a lead really well.
Yeah, I mean, every time one team has momentum, the other team really just answers and takes it right back. So this is going to – I would not be surprised if this game came down as we saw from Opelika, as we saw the Auburn game where it came down to the last shot, a buzzer beater. And, again, the way this game's playing out, I would not be surprised if it ends this way. And if it does come down to one last shot, I want Zeb Baird taking it. He is hot right now.
I was about to say. Now, I mean, of course, Peyton Porterfield, throwback to a couple months back in Beauregard's first game against Opelika High School when they won at 79-76 on that last possession.
And that's just like that's one of the good things about this Beauregard team, though. I mean, you have so many weapons. Any one of these players can step up and win you a game when you need it to. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out down the stretch.
Q Williams to inbound it for Brewbaker Tech. The ball in the corner, driving inward, up and in there for Justin Johnson. 50 all. The start of the fourth quarter has resumed. As for Goodson beyond the arc, looking to drive to the hole. He'll try to do that, give it up to Porterfield. Porterfield takes the bump, and will get the foul. So he'll be going to the line to shoot 2 on that last-ditch effort. Q Williams fouling just before Porterfield had hit the ground off of his jump shot. Or excuse me, that was an offensive foul.
I'm
very confused
I'm
now.
confused. That looked like Porterfield got hacked on that one, so I'm very, very concerned of what was the call of that.
Well, let's reset here. Brewbaker Tech with the ball. Tie game. Deep 3 from Johnson. Johnson drains it near the corner. 53-50. 7:18 to go in regulation. Goodson driving to his left. Has the space down in the lane. And that's going to be all ball, says the referee. A clean block there from Brewbaker Tech.
You don't see that happen that often. When John Goodson drives to the basket, he's not the tallest guy in the world, but you still don't see him get blocked like that very often.
He can get around guys like you haven't seen anyone else before. The jump shot just inside the arc from Johnson, off the mark, rebounded there from Childs. Childs back out to Carter. Now at the top of the key is Lancaster. Lancaster trying to set a play up here with 6:51 to go. The Rams up by 3. He'll motion to his right, give it up in the corner there for Carter. Carter will take the shot. That one in and out, rebounded by Porterfield. Coming the other way is Goodson on the near side. Goodson driving to his left. He'll give it to Baird. Baird, who hasn't taken a shot since his last three-point basket, feeds on the inside to Trent Jones. Will go up and in for the basket with the and one opportunity to tie up this game at 53 apiece if he can make this free throw.
And a big shot from Trent Jones, someone who's had a relatively quiet game offensively. Haven't seen that many points from him. So
Zeb Baird opted not to take the three, passes it. The selfless play inward to Trent Jones, who misses the free throw, but still another 2 points. I like this team play here from Beauregard. So now for Brewbaker Tech is Lancaster right in front of his own bench. Now for Williams in the corner, back out to Lancaster. There he'll find Johnson. Johnson gonna check himself. That one off the mark. Rebounded by Baird, and that one's gonna go out of bounds to Zeb Baird. Baird thought he got fouled on the baseline there from Q Williams, the referee.
I have to agree with him on that one. It looked like he got fouled there to me too, so I understand the frustration.
Doesn't say anything. Justin Johnson's gonna pull up for 3. He'll make it on that second opportunity while Beauregard was sleeping, it seemed. 56-52 is your score. Brewbaker Tech is up with 5:57 to go here in regulation. At the top there is Askew. Askew driving to his right, will pass it back to Jones. Jones looking for someone. He'll give it right back out to Askew. And a pass, Aaron, there for Johnson, coming the other way. He'll lay it up and in. 58-52, the biggest lead for Brewbaker Tech of the night, and that's going to cause a Beauregard timeout. Justin Johnson not happy with his team.
Yeah, and I think Corey Askew might have a little poked in the eye there on that one, or maybe got his nose swatted. You can tell that he was in pain right there.
Yeah, Evan Carter, point guard for Brewbaker Tech, checking up on him. I think he kind of knew what he did there, but hey, nevertheless, Brewbaker Tech with the momentum right now, and they're riding it.
It's a timeout right here. I've never seen this before. You have Beauregard on the timeout, you know, having the team huddle, very standard, but the Brewbaker player is just standing, not even huddling to meet with their coach. I've never seen anything like that before.
Oh, it seems like the referee wanted to end that huddle as soon as possible. Let's play ball, he says. 5:36 to go left in the fourth quarter. The home team Hornets down by 6. Goodson Sinclair will step back. Pulling up for 3 is Goodson. Off the back iron, rebounded there from Williams. And an errant pass almost going out of bounds right in front of head coach Justin Johnson. The other Justin Johnson bringing it up the court. He'll drive to his left, whip it out for Evan. And it looks like that's going to go out of bounds. I believe off of Trey Lancaster.
Yeah, and LaKendrick Larkin, head coach for Brewbaker, was not happy. He had a better vantage point. I think he saw something that we didn't quite see.
So Beauregard's still down by 6 here now with Sinclair driving to his left. He'll pull back for 3. That one no good, off the mark, rebounded by Williams. Let's reset. Childs coming the other way. At the top of the key, he'll slow it down, give it back to Lancaster. Lancaster to his left. The Euro step to his right. No good. Rebounded the other way. Lancaster gets it himself. And off the mark. Sinclair now coming here for Beauregard, and Zeb Baird could not handle the pass. I think it was a little out of reach.
It's a little too far right there for Zeb Baird. He tried his hardest, ended up on the ground diving after it, but Beauregard's offense has gotten quite stagnant here lately. They haven't really looked fluid. You haven't really seen anybody move in, cut, and run to the ball. It just felt like whoever has it is looking to drive or take a step back.
Score hasn't changed in the past couple of minutes. 58-52 is still your score with the Rams with possession. Carter driving to his left. He'll get it stripped there by Porterfield. Porterfield giving it up to Goodson. Goodson gets swarmed by a Brewbaker defense squad. Now coming the other way with Steamus Davis. He'll put it up and in. An 8-point lead here for the Rams.
Looks like there's going to be a timeout there from Brewbaker off of that one. And I think Coach Johnson will take that, though. Gather his team a little bit right here. You're down 8. You got to find something offensively.
Wheels are starting to fall off. Not what you want to see this late in the game. I really thought that it was going to stay close till the bitter end. But hey, we still might see it. You know, we've seen Beauregard do this before where they come back. They've been on the receiving end of this before where they go up and then kind of get complacent a little bit, let the opposing team come back. Maybe this is what the case will be tonight, but flip the script.
But yeah, that's been the story of this game, just kind of back and forth. So if you're Beauregard, you're far from out of it right here. You just have to get a little bit more offensive rhythm right now, and they just haven't really looked fluid. And that is going to start with defense as well, because when they're at their best is when they're making defensive stops and getting the ball off a transition and getting those easy layups.
John Goodson not in the game. On the floor is Baird, Porterfield, Jones, Sinclair, and Askew for the Hornets. So from the baseline is Askew to pass it into Baird. And it'll be Askew to start up after the timeout. Down by 8 is the home team, Beauregard Hornets. He'll motion to his right, pass it back out there to Baird. Baird will have it near the top of the key, giving it back there to Askew. From the free throw line, jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Jones, he'll put it back up. No call, give it right back to Brewbaker Tech. 3:45 to go in regulation.
I didn't really like that shot right there by Askew. He's been doing really well driving to the basket, pulls up right there. Just not a fan of that shot.
Carter to his left, Porterfield challenging him, but not enough. That's another 2 points there for the Rams. They're up by 10. Corey Askew on the left side at the top of the key, driving to his left. Now is Baird once again. He'll put it up, get blocked. Jones, who tried to rebound it, unable to do so. Brewbaker Tech coming the other way. The 2-on-1, putting it up and getting fouled. There was Mike Davis Jr. Corey Askew just all over him.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it feels like the wheels are falling off right now for Beauregard, and you played such a good game, and I feel like they're trying to press a little bit on offense. I feel like everybody has this mentality of we have to get back in this game, we have to get back in this game. When in reality, if they just play their basketball, their selfless basketball that they're good at, they'd get right back into it.
First free throw good from Davis. The second one here on the way with 3:12 to go. And that's an air ball.
And you hear the Beauregard fans getting into that one. And then the Brewbaker Tech answers with the scoreboard chants.
11 points is the differential here with as we approach 3 minutes to go on the game clock. Beauregard running out of time. Sinclair at the top of the key gets double teamed and now stolen. Davis coming the other way. He'll lay it up and in. 13 points. Under 3 minutes to go. Zeb Baird opts to take a three. Still with the hot hand. Off the mark. Jones with the rebound. Coming the other way. Back up. Gets fouled off the rim. He'll be going to the line to shoot 2.
I'll give Trent Jones this. He's played incredibly tough down there. You can see just the physical aggression he's had trying to go after those rebounds at the size advantage or the size disadvantage down there. So he's trying to do something. Somebody's got to score, and someone's got to score fast.
So Trent Jones will make the first. And you got to get him back one at a time. There's still time left. 2:44 to go in the game. And it's a 12-point lead for Brewbaker Tech. The second one from Jones, up and in. Make that 11 points. 65 to 54 is your score. The Rams ahead and with possession. Evan Carter at the top. There now for Long. Passing it back out to Davis, up to Evans at the top of the key now.
And remember, no shot clock in high school basketball.
And it seems like they're just holding it from the top of the key and finally driving inward. And Carter getting fouled before he makes his transition inward by Corey Askew. And it seems like this is really the smartest game plan you can have if you're Coach LaKendrick Larkin for Brewbaker Tech. I mean, you're up by 11, 2:20 to go. The more you can eat up that clock, the better your chances are of winning.
Yeah, I mean, you can run the entire thing out if you're good enough at keeping the ball away from them. So,
inbounded in the backcourt, Brewbaker Tech with it. That's Evan Carter once again. He'll work his way up to his left, still at the top of the key, opting not to take the shot. He'll find Davis. And a deep three there, and the dagger. Evan Carter, three-point basket for Brewbaker Tech, and I think that might do it. 1:56 to go in the game. 14 points is the lead for Brewbaker Tech. Man, what has happened here?
That was one of those shots that it worked out very well for Brewbaker Tech.
Deep three from Askew, off the mark.
But that wasn't the shot you wanted. You can see Coach Larkin over there, he was shaking his head because in that situation, you don't want to take an ill-advised three. You only want layups or to run more clock out. It worked out. But you can see him shaking his head going up down the sidelines.
And that was some noise off the attempted rebound. Porterfield getting bumped, although I could say that for either side. Jabril Long with him. They both went down. They called the foul on Porterfield. And it seems like a whole new three coming in for Beauregard. Byron Mason getting his first look of playing time here tonight. Him along with Zeb Baird and Corey Askew. Now coming the other way is Davis. Davis will lay it up off the mark, and he's going to get fouled.
Now they know they need some quick turnovers on the perimeter, and they need three. So you see them bringing in a lot more guards, trying to just do anything you can. Anything you can to get yourself back in this game. It seems impossible, but a few lucky bounces might turn the tide.
We will see. As Mike Davis Jr. to the stripe. First free throw up and in. 15 points is the lead here for Brewbaker Tech in these past 5 minutes. A lot has happened.
A lot has happened for Brewbaker Tech, and not a lot has happened for Beauregard.
So it'll be Tyler Gordon here for the Hornets. Now at the top of the key. Possibly looking to drive. He'll try to get past his defender and Jabril Long. He'll pass it, make an errant pass. Intercepting it was Justin Johnson. 1:19 to go in the ball game. 70-54 is your score. At the top is Carter once again driving. He'll get fouled before the shot. And since Beauregard's over the limit, that's going to be a 1-and-1. Possibly.
That looked like an offensive foul to me.
I make no assumptions anymore, it seems.
Well, in my head, I thought they just made the wrong call. And it did turn, it looked like he stuck his hand out and had a full jersey. And I think that I thought that the referees had missed that one. But they did correct it, and Beauregard basketball.
Reverse the call. That foul was on Brewbaker Tech. So now Gordon coming the other way. In the corner there is Askew. Askew decides not to take the three with just under a minute to go now. Goodson driving to his left. He'll go up. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Long. As for Brewbaker Tech, they can just hold on to the ball the rest of this game if they please. 70-54 is your score. We'll be talking to head coach of the Beauregard Hornets, Justin Johnson, about this probable loss now here. Another rebound from Brewbaker Tech. Off the mark, and that'll go out of bounds to Beauregard. Stoppage and play, 32 seconds to go in regulation. Down by 16 are the Hornets. On the court, Corey Askew coming the other way now. At the top of the key, he'll find Goodson. Goodson in the same spot. We'll pass it out for Mason. Mason for three. He'll bury the three. So 13-point game now. Byron Mason, his first shot, good from deep.
And it's interesting because before the game, me and you were just, off the call talking about, and I happened to say, I think the first team to 70 wins, and you see one team has 70 and one team has their average.
Why not call that up? And now the student section here for Brewbaker Tech. Not big in numbers, but sure are loud.
And they're saying it's their house.
And they don't even care about the last shot. That's going to be the end of regulation. Oh my goodness, that almost went in, but that was a bit of disrespect. I'm not sure if I love that. There from Justin Johnson, the player for Brewbaker Tech, as he puts up that final shot, but that will do it here. Final score 70-57. And that is going to be Beauregard's 7th loss of the season and first loss of the new year in 2020. But we're going to be getting word from head coach Justin Johnson on the other side of the open of this postgame show here on Weagle's Twitter live stream.
The final whistle may have been blown, but we are not done here yet. Stats, interviews, and more are coming up here on the Beauregard men's basketball postgame show. Let's send it back courtside for more.
Beauregard loses by a final score of 70-57. We're here with head coach of the Beauregard Hornets, Justin Johnson. Can you get us now? All right, Coach, tough loss just there in the end. It just kind of seemed like it slipped away. You had them for the first 3 quarters, and then what happened in the fourth?
I just think the pressure at the moment got a little bit too big for my guys right there. But it's all right. We'll send them Montgomery. I ain't worried about it.
All right, I mean, what's this moving forward now for 2020? What was the message at practice this week coming in now to 2020? You had a lot of rest and time to think to yourself of a break.
My seniors got to be seniors. That's been my message for forever. My seniors got to be seniors. We got to turn it on. Guard play wins basketball games, especially in January, February. Guards win, so my guards got to be guard. It hurt me when Jay got hurt down there toward the end of the stretch. That's my dog in the fight.
What's the update on him?
He just tweaked his knee a little bit, and
okay.
Him being a competitor, he wanted to go back in the game, and I tried to let him go, but you can see he couldn't run full speed on it. But yeah, I give them all the credit. They had a better team tonight. They gave a better effort tonight. We didn't play like we were supposed to play tonight. 57 points, that's poor. I mean, we scored 57 points. We can get out of bed and score 57 points. So that was a poor game, but that's, like I said, we'll see him in Montgomery.
Okay. Do you think there's a little bit more edge now going into it? I can see it in your face as you're talking. I can see the fire in your eyes.
I'm like you said, the fire in my eyes. I'm a competitor, man. I hate losing. And I hate losing to a team that I honestly feel like I'm better than. Like you said, we whooped those guys for 3 quarters, and they had to play their best to stay in the game. And I have to teach my guys. I put it on me. I got to teach my guys how to finish. I got to teach my guys how to win. So this was on me. I didn't teach them how to finish, so it's on me, and we will be a different team next time we see them.
That's the message from head coach of the Beauregard Hornets, Justin Johnson. We appreciate the time once again. We'll see you soon. Beauregard with 3 home games left on the season. After tonight's loss, they moved to 7-7, 1-1 in 2020. What are your final thoughts just from tonight's game, it seems like?
I mean, it's just like Coach Johnson said. I mean, they beat them for 3 quarters, and just kind of let the moment get the best of them. Didn't quite finish, and I mean, he's going to put it on him. And honestly, I'm interested to see how they respond to this when they go to Brewbaker and play them there.
So I guess the upcoming couple games, it's going to be at Valley High School coming up in 2 days on the 9th, 7:30 start for that one. Then at Tallahassee on the 14th, and back home at Beulah in a game that they beat them at Beulah High School back on the 3rd this past Friday by a final score of 76-38. So it's just going to be interesting to see how this Beauregard team handles themselves on the road. We're going to be back in action, of course, calling the game when Beulah comes to town on the 16th of January. Any final remarks from you, Levi?
Our next game, it's a big rivalry game for them. You can take that old score out the window. I mean, it doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything when they play. When those two teams play each other, they might not be in the same area, but they're too close, and they just downright don't like each other.
Brewbaker Tech victorious tonight by a final score of 70-57, just going off in that 4th quarter. It just seemed like it was a close game up until that point, but that's going to do it for Levi Fitzwater. I'm Aiden Kowalski signing off and saying go Hornets from the Beauregard High School Gymnasium.
Thank you for listening to Beauregard Men's Basketball here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com. For more game highlights and full broadcasts, search WEGL 91.1 FM on SoundCloud and on iTunes. Join us again for the next broadcast as the Beauregard Hornets look to fight their way to the state tournament. Go Hornets!
Outside, outside,